When it comes to making revisions to their handhelds, Nintendo has had a habit of doing one of two things, either making them smaller,
all the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand,
or the opposite direction and make them a lot larger.
With a bigger screen and longer battery charge, your gold-grabbing adventure will feel larger than life.
In exchange for having a larger screen, which is really beneficial for some games. So that kind of raises the question that if we're getting any kind of revision for the Switch in the near future, which way are they gonna go? Well, we actually got inspired by an idea we saw from another YouTuber, my mate Vince, who made the Vincendo XL, which was a larger screen 1080p Switch. And so, working off that idea, we're gonna make something a little more ridiculous, but also something smaller. Let's check it out. Guys, I'm gonna be honest here, when the idea was pitched of doing like an XL Switch, this is a little more excessive than I was thinking. So if you're wondering how we got this all set up, by the way, it's not that crazy actually. We basically took the opened up dock that we have and rigged that up with this monitor and a portable battery. So this is actually a perfectly mobile setup. I mean, I could roll around on this chair and keep playing. It's just not practical at all. Oh, whoa, I think I might actually get motion sickness from this. This was not a good game to pick for this particular test. Look, I get the idea was that we wanted to test out the idea of a Switch XL. I just think this is a little more beyond what, well, if such a thing were to happen, this is probably a little more than what Nintendo would do. Tiny bit. So next, let's try things in the opposite direction with a much smaller screen. Now, for this setup, we just hooked it up to our Small HD, which is a 5-inch screen, putting it at just a tiny bit bigger than the upper screen of a 3DS XL. So that's kind of the range of what a smaller system would look like. Now at the same time, while this is a smaller screen than the regular Switch, it's actually a higher resolution. This is 1080p instead of 720. So one of the things I'm noticing right away is this is a much crisper image. I mean, it's tiny, but it looks really good. Now, if they were to make a more compact one, while I like the idea of Joy-Cons being used across all systems, it would make sense that a smaller one would probably have smaller Joy-Cons to match with it, otherwise it's not flush like you can see here, which looks kind of funny. I will say this is actually almost a little more comfortable. Like, I'm more used to having a smaller handheld like this. Really, what this is telling me is that I like the size of the Switch, but I would love if it actually supported 1080p when it was undocked. I mean, the battery would die immediately, but maybe that's just an excuse for us to have a better battery too? Now, of course, the main benefit of making a smaller design like this isn't so much because we want to have more power or anything like that. The idea is that with the smaller size like this, you could actually more comfortably carry around a Switch, which the Switch isn't that bad for putting into bags and stuff, and you can kind of fit one in a pocket, but it's a little ridiculous looking. This would definitely be a friendlier size. And even though it's a better resolution, I think I prefer having the larger screen on the regular Switch. Something that's made me think too is that it wouldn't be that crazy if down the line Nintendo wanted to offer sort of like a Switch Mini option or something. Just a smaller handheld that still gives you a lot of power, but is a lot easier to carry around because, yeah, the small screen isn't bad. The real takeaway from this is that, honestly, I think that the size the Switch has had is just right. I mean, there's so much talk about whether or not we're gonna get a new model Switch sometime down the line, and if we do, is it gonna be an XL, is it gonna be some kind of mini option? I don't really want it to be either of those. I think the Switch as it is just the right size. It is small enough that it's gonna comfortably fit in a bag or even a pocket sometimes, and at the same time has a large enough screen that's giving you a much better experience than other handhelds have in the past. Yeah, it's a little larger than normal and it could be even bigger, but I think this is just the right sweet spot.